coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. Russell Wilson leading them out there, 6-year quarterback who finished his college ball, of course, as a Wisconsin Badger.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll throw on first down with Willson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And this offense often hinges on one of the best tight ends in the league, and that's Jimmy Graham.
I think he made up for lost time when he got to the NFL because in college, he was mainly a basketball player, a defender who couldn't score. Now he's flipped it around in the NFL. Every time he touches the ball, he's a threat to score.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Here's Willson to throw again. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that open things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Give him 30 yards there.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola. And then, of course, to Stanford. And, boy, he's been good. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. 6 yards here to go for the offense on second down. They run it again with Lacey. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Willson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Graham. And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11.
Jimmy Graham had a really tough injury in 2015 that ended his season, but he had a bounce back in 2016. How did he not get any votes for Comeback Player of the Year?
I was just going to ask you that. Not that Jordy Nelson wasn't deserving, but 65 catches, 923 yards. That was the highest total by a tight end in Seahawk history.
And I think there's a chance that both of those numbers will increase in 2017.
second down, Lacey. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Thompson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged. Partner, you heard the whispers in 2016. You heard that maybe Richard Sherman's a little vulnerable out there on the corner, didn't you?
Well, if I'm playing against him at any point in the year, I don't want to give Richard Sherman any extra incentive or fuel to be motivated.
No, he doesn't really need it. This is one of the more intelligent guys playing the corner in the NFL, and has shown up in his play throughout his career.
They start the drive on the ground with Lacey. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Well, look up to the scoreboard as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-0 is our score. We'll be back to Seattle right after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Lacey gets the handoff from Willson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. On 3rd down, Willson. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. Running it with a fullback, Burton. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down.
4th and 1. This is what fullbacks live for. They're always the guys with all the marks on their helmets because they love sticking their heads in there to fight for the tough yards. And he gets the tough yards here to give his guys a first down.
First down, Willson. It's caught outright by Graham. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now Willson on first down. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. And it's good to make it 14-0. That time, a 6-play drive. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes Philip Dorsett now to return it. Oh, what a move. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Hoping now to get back in the end zone on this 4th possession. After the interception, here's Willson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On second down, Willson steps away to his left. And he's got his tight end. This is Luke Willson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Throwing now, Willson on first down. Dancing to his left. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Offense readies for a 2nd and 1. Gun. Here's Willson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it's 3rd and short.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. On 3rd and 1, Willson Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he slides to avoid the hit.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
And the Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Willson will throw again. He finds his man, Baldwin. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. From the red zone now, here's Willson on first down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. 2nd and 10 now. Willson escaping the pressure right. And avoids the contact by sliding. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Now it's Willson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Gary Barnidge, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Walsh now for the PAT. And it is now 21-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. Interesting stat line right now. And technically, he's completed 4 passes, 2 to his team and then 2 to the wrong team.
It makes you wonder what he's seeing downfield because he has completed 2 passes to his own team, but the interceptions are troubling. Is he going through the wrong reads, the wrong progressions? Is he getting fooled by defenses? They've got to figure that out over on the sidelines, working on that Surface Pro to see what they see.
They'll start on the ground with Gore, and he'll get this one up to the 26. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando with our halftime report, here's Larry Ridley.
Thanks, Brandon.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Oh, what a juke into space. He's at the 40. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Philip Dorsett, an even 90 yards. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's up, it's good, and that'll cut the lead to 21-7. And so it was a little bit of a shorter kick. He caught it at the 10, and then he was able to take off, go the rest of the way 90 yards to the other end zone for the kick return touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, it's Willson.
On any given pass, but you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point try now for Walsh. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Returnable for Dorsett. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run, making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle, no running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
Vinatieri now for the point after. It's up and good, and it's now 28-14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Frank Gore touchdown run. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll try to get the offense going with Lacey. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Now a 10th carry here for Lacey. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
They'll run. This is Lacey. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Now they'll throw it with Willson. And he finds his tight end, Graham. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football, and getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Now Lacey. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, here's Willson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. He got 29 yards that time. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
14.
They'll throw on first down with Willson. Being chased out left. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And they still need 10 yards here to find pay dirt. It's 2nd and goal from the 10. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So now 3rd and goal. Will the defense bring some extra pressure here? And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll try and throw for it with Willson. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So the magic runs out, so to speak. They were 3 for 3 on 4th down conversions, now 3 for 4.
So the defense finally gets to exhale.
Yeah.
Because they were wondering, 3 for 3 getting converted on 4th down. That percentage is way high. They hadn't stopped them at all. Finally, they get a stop. They can get to the sidelines now and rest a little bit.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. On 1st down, Luck. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Michael Bannon in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. On 2nd down, here's Luck. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. Baldwin now to return. Oh, now look at this. They're lining up to add 3 more. A little insult to injury here late in the game. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. The scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Seahawks, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.